An empty debe makes a lot of noise. It really gives out a lot of noise. And so when people are out here making noise all over, talking, speaking, keep giving promises and not doing them, Ibrahim Traore is busy working. He is busy transforming Africa. In his mind, he's telling himself, now it's time to transform Africa. So when others are making noise, giving promises and walking all over telling people what they want to do and they don't do it, Ibrahim Traore is busy telling himself it's time to transform Africa. And therefore, he doesn't speak too much, but he works too much. So he does a lot of actions compared to a lot of speaking. That is who Ibrahim Traore is. When other leaders are making a lot of noise. So empty debes, it's clear that empty debes makes a lot of noise because they're making a lot of noise, and at the end of the day, there is nothing they're doing. There is a very big transformation, and a very soon Africa is going to be a land that is very rich, a land that is very special, a land that every other people will be looking at it and say, sincerely speaking, and really, truly, we want to be like Africa. We want to be like how Africa is. And this one will start by an individual. And this individual is the one and only Ibrahim Traore. Abroad, 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 abroad. I am sick. This sickness cannot be managed here in Africa. Let's go abroad. I want to pursue higher education because I want to get a good job and I want to get to learn better skills. Let me go abroad. I want to be a great engineer, and therefore in Africa here maybe I cannot study and become a great engineer. Let me go abroad, 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 abroad. It has been a term, and it has been a word that has really been used here in Africa when people want to do better things in their lives. Abroad has been a name that would come all over in their mouths. Talking about abroad and speaking about abroad, it has been something they've been speaking all the times. Okay, it has been a way of life going abroad so you can be able to get better things compared to things you're getting here in Africa. And therefore, Africa has been a land where it cannot issue out better skills, it cannot give out better treatment, it cannot issue out better education because it's not in its status, in its initial status, that is where it's supposed to be, and it's not in its quality, and therefore people tend to go to abroad to be able to get better things compared to what they're getting in Africa. I do not have a job that is paying well. Let me go abroad to be able to get a job that is paying well. These are the things that Ibrahim Traore is working so hard to try to make sure he is doing away with them. These are the kind of the things that Ibrahim Traore does not want to see in Africa anymore. He does not want to see that those the kind of things happening here in Africa anymore. And that is why Ibrahim Traore, he is indulging himself and he is engaging himself in the work of building Africa. Not only building Burkina Faso, in the works of building Africa. Because this mega hospital that he is building, it is a hospital that is going actually to make sure it's covering over Africa and across Africa. It's a hospital that is going to have everything. Therefore, when we want to go for better treatment, we shall not be flying to abroad as Kenyans. We shall be flying to Burkina Faso, an African country that is located here in Africa. So Ibrahim Traore is a man who has the visions of people. And he has the vision of Africa. Okay, he's a man who is carrying the vision. He's the vision bearer. The vision bearer of Africa. Okay, and so whatever he's doing, everything he's doing, he is doing it largely to be able to show Africa that indeed Africans, we are capable of doing these things. It is only that we have not got an opportunity to do these things. It is only that we have not actually positioned our mind in a place where we want to do it. Okay, and therefore uh, we only need to actually take time and think about what is right and start doing what is right. Okay, I want to play you some clips of the things that Ibrahim Traore is doing in Africa right now. Ibrahim Traore in Africa today, he is building a very mega hospital, a mega hospital. It's going to be one of the biggest hospitals that has ever been in Africa. It's going to be one of the biggest hospitals with almost every equipment and all the treatments equipments that we have ever had here in Africa, because it's a big hospital, it's a mega hospital, an hospital that's going to cut across Africa. And instead of going to America and to going to Russia, instead of going to France and going to all those places, to United Kingdom, to India, to go and get treatment, we shall be flying to Burkina Faso to go and get treatment instead of going to abroad. What a leader. Let's get direct. Without further ado, let's get after this clip.
Ibrahim Traore is building Africa's most advanced hospital in Bobo Dioulasso. You heard that right. Not only will this be one of the largest hospitals in West Africa, but it also marks a turning point for healthcare on the continent. Why should you care about this hospital? Well, let's start by considering a question. Why do so many African leaders seek medical care abroad? From Paul Biya of Cameroon, who's been in power for over 40 years, to Nigeria's former president Muhammadu Buhari, and even the current president Bola Tinubu, African leaders have spent millions of dollars on foreign medical trips. These trips raise an important question. Why are these leaders not investing in world-class healthcare systems in their own countries? If Ibrahim Traore can lead the way with this state-of-the-art facility in Bobo Dioulasso, why can't other African leaders follow suit? Let's start by painting a picture of the Bobo Dioulasso University Hospital Center, which is currently under construction. Set to be delivered in March 2025, this hospital is not just a regional healthcare center. It's a game changer for the entire African continent. With a capacity of 500 beds and 9 functional departments including emergency services, medical technology, consultation areas, educational facilities, and even residential apartments for medical experts, it's clear that this is no ordinary hospital. The construction of this hospital, overseen by a partnership between the Burkinabe government and a Chinese construction firm, represents a massive investment of 60 billion CFA francs. What makes this hospital stand out even further is that it will feature cutting-edge medical equipment, providing a level of care that will rival hospitals not only in Africa, but across the globe. You might be asking, why is this so important? Well, this hospital could help keep millions of dollars that are currently spent on medical tourism within Africa, where it's desperately needed. For years, African elites have flown to Europe, Asia, and America for medical treatments, draining the continent of valuable resources. Ibrahim Traore's vision for this hospital is to change that narrative. Across West Africa, there's a shortage of high-quality hospitals. Many citizens, especially in rural areas, suffer due to a lack of access to adequate healthcare facilities. When they do have access, the quality of care is often substandard, forcing those with means to seek treatment abroad. Let's consider the case of Cameroon's President Paul Biya, who just returned from yet another medical trip to France after spending 2 months there. Biya has been in power for over 40 years, yet Cameroon still lacks a world-class hospital. It's not just Biya. Buhari spent a year of his presidency in hospitals in the UK. And now, Tinubu frequently visits French hospitals for medical checkups. So why is it that countries like Nigeria and Cameroon, with all their resources, have failed to build such hospitals? The answer may lie in a lack of vision, mismanagement, or simply misplaced priorities. But in contrast, Burkina Faso, under the leadership of Ibrahim Traore, is showing that it is possible to build top-tier medical infrastructure in Africa. This brings us back to the Bobo Dioulasso University Hospital. Not only will it offer world-class medical care to the people of Burkina Faso, but it will also serve as a training ground for future doctors, nurses, and medical professionals. This hospital will help stem the brain drain that has seen many of Africa's brightest healthcare professionals leave for better opportunities abroad. Now, let's talk about how this hospital fits into the broader context of West Africa's fight for true independence. As we've seen, the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, which includes Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, is actively working towards breaking free from the neo-colonial grip of France. Ibrahim Traore, along with his counterparts in Mali and Niger, is leading the charge for real sovereignty, not just politically but also economically. Building this hospital is more than just a health project. It's a symbol of that sovereignty. It's a message that says, We don't need to rely on foreign countries for basic needs like healthcare. We can build our own world-class facilities right here. Think about it. How many times have African nations been forced to beg for loans, aid, or expertise from former colonial powers? Ibrahim Traore is proving that this dependence is not necessary. The completion of this hospital is not just a victory for Burkina Faso, but for the entire AES coalition. It stands as a beacon of hope for other African nations, showing that with determination and smart governance, Africa can achieve greatness on its own terms. One thing that stands out about the Bobo Dioulasso Hospital is the speed of delivery. Construction began in February 2022, and now, in less than 2 years, the hospital is almost 80% complete. Think about that for a moment. How often do we hear of large government projects being completed on time in Africa? Sadly, too often, we see projects abandoned halfway, budget overruns, and corruption. But this hospital is different. It's a testament to the focus and commitment of Ibrahim Traore's government. During a recent site visit, the Minister of Health, along with other high-ranking officials, expressed satisfaction with the progress. They noted that the execution rate is at 80%, with only 73% of the allocated time used so far. This means that the hospital is ahead of schedule. Compare this with the norm in many other African countries, where large-scale projects often drag on for years or even decades, and it becomes clear that this project is something special. Let's now talk about the many gains this hospital will bring to Burkina Faso and the region. First and foremost, there are the health benefits. The hospital will provide much-needed care to thousands of people in the Upper Basins region and beyond. But it goes beyond that. It will also create jobs, both directly and indirectly. From the construction workers who have been building the hospital to the doctors, nurses, and support staff who will eventually work there, this hospital is a job creator. Then there's the training aspect. This hospital will be equipped to train future generations of healthcare professionals. Doctors, nurses, and medical technicians will no longer need to go abroad to receive world-class training. They can get it right here in Burkina Faso. There's also the economic impact. By reducing the need for Burkinabe citizens to seek medical treatment abroad, this hospital will help conserve foreign exchange. Instead of sending millions of dollars to Europe or America for medical treatments, that money will now stay within the country, helping to strengthen the economy. Finally, this hospital will stand as one of the top 5 biggest hospitals in West Africa, depending on the criteria used. Whether it's in terms of bed capacity, facilities, or the range of services offered, the Bobo Dioulasso University Hospital will rank among the elite medical centers in the region. It's worth taking a moment to reflect on the man behind all of this, Ibrahim Traore.
You have seen that. It's a big hospital. It is something Traore is doing to Africa here because he knows he knows the people what people want. He knows what are the kind of the things that as Africans we are going through, and therefore he every day works towards ending that. He works towards doing away with the problems and creating solutions for the people of Africa. That's a very big hospital. It's a mega hospital, a mega hospital. You have seen it, and it is what he is engaging himself in every time. So the issues of I'm going abroad to be able to get better treatment, it's going to come to an end. And how is it going to come an end? It's going to come to an end because of one and only Ibrahim Traore, who has come and taken over Africa, who has come and decided, I'm going to lead this Africa to a promised land, to a land that God had promised them. And the land that God had promised us, it is the land where Ibrahim Traore, the king of Africa, is taking us to, okay? Because the things he's doing, it's clear. Because they say, we shall not see you, or we shall not recognize you, we shall not identify you by how you speak, but by how you act. And we are identifying leaders by how they are acting. And the only 3 leaders we have managed to see today is the one and only Tiani, the one and only Goita, and the one and only the king of Africa, the lion himself, who is roaring. And I said always, if Africa would be a jungle, then Ibrahim Traore would be a lion. And therefore, it's the only one and only Ibrahim Traore who is the king of Africa. Together with the other 2, they are leaders that we can be able to see and say, now, these are the leaders that we've been looking for in Africa. These are the leaders we've been wanting them to come to Africa. As if that was not enough, Ibrahim Traore went on and decided to raise the transportation system of Burkina Faso. Raising the transport system of Burkina Faso is like raising the transport system of Africa, because we are looking forward to an Africa that is one, a motherland that is one. Someone was telling me on the comment section that Africa should not be made one. Africa should have it's like we should have many countries in Africa, so that every country could come up and start defending itself. That there is no need of Africa becoming one. This person who is speaking, he has forgotten that before these boundaries that they're having in Africa, Africa was one land. Okay, Africa was one land before the Europeans came and divided Africa because they wanted to rule Africa. It was a divide and rule strategy, and therefore they divided Africa, giving themselves places of where to rule. I'll rule here, I'll rule here. So they were dividing countries for themselves. Okay, that is one thing they have forgotten. Africa was initially one before it was divided by a white man, and therefore Africa needs to go back to be one, to be a one country, and to be a one land. And therefore, raising the transportation systems of Burkina Faso is like raising the transportation systems of Africa, because when Burkina Faso has got good transportation system, Niger will do the same thing. Mali will do the same thing. It will affect Ghana. Ghana will do the same thing. It will have to affect Nigeria. Nigeria will have to do the same thing. And then it's going to spread like a disease to, or maybe like a virus, to all the African countries. And therefore, all African countries will be of the same nature, because we shall be borrowing from our friends and be doing the same things. So Ibrahim Traore went on and decided to now raise the transportation systems of Burkina Faso people and Burkina Faso as an African country. And without further ado, let's get after it. Thank you so much. Welcome back again. As if that was not enough, Ibrahim Traore, an African transformer, he is transforming Africa. He wants to bring another different picture to Africa. He went on and started building a mega university. He's telling his people that he doesn't not want to have people and the youths who are coming up with a level of education that is very low. And therefore, these people would not have to go to abroad in seeking of what? In seeking of better education, or rather in seeking of better skills in terms of education to be able to sustain themselves. So what does he do? What he does is that he is building a university in Burkina Faso that is going to sustain a lot of people. Apart from building the mega hospitals, part of raising the what we call part of raising the transportation systems and all those things, he has done a lot of things. And amongst these things he has done, it's also building a mega university. And you can see it has been a very short time for Ibrahim Traore to be able to do all these things. The power plantation, the mega unit, the mega hospital that is building in something with Diaso, the transportation system, raising of the transportation system that he's doing. Okay, right now we're talking about building a university for Burkina Faso. The long term, he has been a short term president, but whatever he has done something that presidents of Africa and African leaders have not been able to do for a very long time. So this is a man to watch, a man who has the interests of people, a man who understands the cries of people, a man who knows what his people want, and that is why he's being able to do all these things within a very short time. We have seen Africa and we have seen Burkina Faso having a factory that manufactures and that makes gold, and therefore Burkina Faso's gold does not have to go abroad anymore to be made there. It has to stay, because whenever our gold and minerals are taken to abroad, taken to white man's land to go and being maybe turned into a useful thing, they does not come back. They remain there. And therefore now Burkina Faso, they are having gold bank store where they can be able to store their gold, they can be able to reserve their gold. Okay, it's one of the countries that are having gold bank reserve here in Africa. There is no any other country in Africa that has that one. And it has happened because Ibrahim Traore has understood, and he knows the importance of this gold in his country, the significance of these minerals in his country. And he knows that white men These are the things that they want to be able to sustain themselves. And he cannot allow that to happen anymore. And he went ahead and built a gold reserve for Burkina Faso. Okay, he has also made. So I talked about a power plantation, and and you see, those are the kind of the things that Ibrahim Traore is trying to do to Africa. This is like really transforming Africa. Africa needs to have a new face. That is the mission for Ibrahim Traore to bring a new face to Africa. Okay, leave alone people who talk too much. Like I don't like. Okay, when you're talking, we need to talk and also act. Okay, we have people who are talking sense in Africa. They are talking the vision. They are talking the vision. When you listen to their speeches, you will see there is some kind of vision in these speeches. The likes of Julius Malema and all those people. Okay, and we have who are not talking any. They're just talking. Some of them are talking nonsense. Okay, but we have Ibrahim Traore who doesn't talk, but he works. We do not see him talking too much, but we see him working. That is the one and only Ibrahim Traore. Okay, and therefore Ibrahim Traore again has started building a university for the Burkinabe people, so that Burkinabe people cannot go abroad in pursuing of further education. Without further ado, let's get after it.
In the heart of Burkina Faso, visionary leader Captain Ibrahim Traore emerged, armed with a bold ambition to reshape the destiny of his nation. In this video, we look at how Ibrahim Traore is streamlining bureaucratic processes to ensure development projects are executed seamlessly, on budget, and ahead of schedule. Later in the video, I show you Ibrahim Traore's New Year message to the people of Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore's leadership has not only brought about transformative infrastructure projects, but also ushered in a new era of governance, streamlining bureaucratic processes to ensure development projects are executed seamlessly, on budget, and ahead of schedule.
C'est tout ce qui a été mis dans la tête pour que nous ne puissions pas avancer.
Errors may have been committed by breaking certain rules, but it's time to lead by example. It's time that you who work here at the top, you are models, and every time you see the flag, think of everything we have like our values. Ibrahim, a man of action, embarked on an ambitious project to modernize the country's network of roads. But that was just the beginning. Ibrahim Traore saw education as the key to unlocking Burkina Faso's true potential. Determined to provide opportunities for the youth, he set out to build universities that could stand a chance with some of the best on the continent, making sure the youth of Burkina Faso would be equipped to tackle the challenges of the future. With corruption and bureaucratic hurdles eliminated, funds allocated for projects are used efficiently. Ibrahim's leadership ensured that every dollar earmarked for development found its way to the intended purpose, whether it was the construction of roads, universities, an ultra-modern hospital, a nuclear power plant, or a gold refining factory. Ibrahim Traore envisioned a nation with a robust healthcare system accessible to all. In the heart of the country's second-largest city, an ultra-modern hospital is nearing completion, a beacon of hope and healing. State-of-the-art medical facilities and a cadre of skilled professionals converge to provide top-notch healthcare for Burkina Faso's citizens.
There were problems with funding, but the current government reacted positively to ensure we are able to deliver the project.
Burkina Faso has prioritized increasing its health budget. The government has allocated a higher percentage of its overall budget to healthcare, recognizing that a well-funded health sector is crucial for addressing the diverse health needs of the population. This increased budget allows for better remuneration of healthcare professionals, procurement of essential medical supplies, and the implementation of public health programs. 2023 was a year where many initiatives saw the light of the day. Everything that we have taken as an initiative in the field of defense, in the health field, especially also in the field of food self-sufficiency, many initiatives of development, of industrialization have been launched. The most audacious of Ibrahim's endeavors is the construction of a nuclear power plant that is currently underway. One of the primary benefits of introducing nuclear power to Burkina Faso is the potential for significantly reducing the cost of energy production. This cost-effectiveness can catalyze industrial growth by making energy more affordable for businesses, thereby encouraging investment in manufacturing and other energy-intensive sectors. Following the groundbreaking agreement between Russia and Burkina Faso to collaborate on the construction of the nuclear power plant, a venture that holds immense significance for both countries, Russia has officially reopened its embassy in Burkina Faso after a prolonged hiatus. We are determined to expand cooperation in the commercial and economic field, and we hope that the Burkinabe partners will gradually expand the range of products purchased in Russia, in particular agricultural machinery and mineral fertilizers, as well as equipment for the mining industry. Russia will continue to provide assistance to Burkina Faso for the training of specialists and executives, national civilians, and military. In the midst of these grand projects, Ibrahim Traore also turned his attention to Burkina Faso's rich natural resources. A gold refining factory where the precious metal extracted from the nation's mines would be processed and utilized to fund further development projects. In a televised address, Ibrahim Traore remarked, "The true wealth of Burkina Faso lies not only in its resources, but in the spirit and potential of its people."
Burkina Faso is a country that is now allocating and is now doing lots of factories, because Burkina Faso is a country that now wants to be able to start manufacturing its own items, manufacturing its own materials, making its own things. Because they used to maybe to depend on the foreign countries like maybe France to be able to manufacture goods, to be able to create things, and to be able to. So they used to import a lot of things from from France, and France really benefited a lot from Burkina Faso. And that is why the moment now the countries here in Africa are starting retrieving themselves, or rather coming out of France and asking France to leave their countries, French government and even Macron Emmanuel is getting frustrated and is feeling very bad, because he knows that without Africa, it's going to be very difficult for him to be able to actually to be himself and to lead his country. It's going to be difficult for them to get a lot of things, because now they've been getting these things for free, and they'll not be getting it for free anymore. They'll have to go an extra mile to make sure they're getting it, and it's really giving them a sleepless night. Okay, it's giving them a lot of headache, and therefore that is why he is very, very, very upset with Africans who are asking them out of Africa, and he's even going ahead and insulting Africans. Okay, now so Ibrahim Traore knows that the only thing that is going to save Burkina Faso, is going to save Africa, is when we build our own factories here in Africa, so that we can be able to we can stop the issues and the works of importing materials from the United States, importing materials from France, importing materials from Russia, importing things from abroad here to Africa. We want to start building our own things, making our own things, and that is why he is going ahead and even building and doing factories, because we have seen recently Ibrahim Traore has made a factory that is going to manufacture and bring tomato into what does it called, into the tomato paste, into final use. Okay, so the issues of importing tomato sauce, it's not going to work anymore in Burkina Faso, because they're going to start manufacturing their own tomato. Without further ado, let's get after it. And amongst other things, Ibrahim Traore is becoming one out of a million, one in a million people who are doing greater things in the country of Africa. Because Africa needs to be a great continent. And greatness is coming with the king of Africa, Ibrahim Traore. He has come with greatness, and he knows that greatness is what we need as Africans. Okay? He knows what Africans want, and he's working for the wellness and for the goodness of Africans. No going abroad in search of treatment, no going abroad in search of further education, no going abroad because we want to go there and get some jobs, okay, and get some green pastures because there is good transportation systems and many other things. We cannot go there. Is creating jobs for you, say in Africa. And therefore, what we need is to sit down, support him, and be able to create and continue having and getting jobs for our youth, say in Africa. No more maybe taking our minerals and taking things that we're producing to Africa, to in Africa to abroad, how they can be able to be produced, because here in Africa we don't have factories. Ibrahim Traore is doing away with that. We need to be a land and a nation and a continent where we depend on ourselves. By depending on ourselves is the only way we can be able to conquer the world. And our aim is to conquer the world. Being led by the King Ibrahim Traore, we know that everything is possible. As the Bible says, we shall do all things through God who strengthened us. And here in Africa also we are saying we shall do all things through Ibrahim Traore, who is opening a way for us and who is instilling knowledge in our heads and showing us that this is really possible. What we need to do is to pray for Ibrahim Traore, that God is going to keep him and make him safe until the end of this fight, because at the end of the day, in that 9-10 speech and once I've spoken, at the end of the day, we understand that the struggle continues. The aluta continua, that means struggle continues. And as much as struggle continues, we are going to engage in this fight of transforming Africa until we get to a point and make sure that Africa has come to a transformation and has come to its initial and to its quality, how it's supposed to be. Africa must be respected. Africa is home. Africa ni nyumbani. Everything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as Africans. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. For the returning subscribers, I salute you so much. For those who have not been here before, it's the first time to be here. Just make sure you go ahead and hit on the subscription bell, and it's a subscription box, and it's gonna be very good. It's going to be very wonderful. Press the notification bell. Be the first person to attend and to be able to visit this channel whenever any content is dropped in, whenever anything is actually dropped in. Do let me know what's your comment on the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I'm reading them and reply to them where I can do it possible. At the end of the day, that's just my opinion. Let me see your opinion, how you view Ibrahim Traore, how you can talk about him. My brothers and sisters from Caribbean, from diaspora, and from Africa in particular, I salute you guys so much, and I love you so much, and may you continue being safe, and may God bless you so much. I want to see you tomorrow again. I want to see you in Africa, my brothers from diaspora, once again, because you are my brothers, you are my sisters, and the love I have for you guys is an unconditional love. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. All right, adios, guys.